To another session on Quantower trading platform. Today I am going to talk about how to use charts and different charting functionalities. To begin with, let's open a chart, and charts can be opened in different ways in Quantower. One of the way to do is you click on the dashboard, and there is a chart panel here, and you can open the chart from here. Or if you already put this panel on the favorites on top, you can click there as well. So let me open this chart here, and you can type the symbol that you want. So once you enter the symbol, you can see the time interval that you want to put on the chart. So we have different options that is available. So you can decide whether you want a 1 minute chart or 5 minute chart, whatever period that you want. You can put this here. You have minute, hour, day, week, month, and year. Well, at the same time, you can also select the range. So if you want this 5 minute chart for the last 3 months, you can select the range from here and apply. The chart will open for 3 months. You can go back and see. If you drag the cursor, you'll be able to see 3 months of data. So now this is a candlestick chart by default. It opens as a candlestick chart. However, we have different options for you to change. In case you want to change the different chart types, you can switch to bar, you can switch to line, dotted line, area, and Quantower charts. Apart from that, we also have different aggregations. So which means that you can also use different chart types like Heikenashi. You can select the period that you want. Suppose I want a 5 minute Heikenashi chart. I can apply that. I have, you can also go for range bar, Renko, line break, Kagi, point and figure, volume, and reversal charts. If you want to add any of these parameters, so for example, if you always use Heikenashi charts and you want a 5 minute interval and 1 month of data, so you can add this to favorites so that all these chart favorites are visible here for you to quickly apply them. So I will add this to favorites, and you will see that Heikenashi 5 minute chart 1 month is available here for a selection. You apply this and the chart will be loaded. So next thing that you need to do is about if you right click on the chart, so you have a symbol lookup, which means again if you want to switch to any chart, any symbol, you can go back to that. Another option that you have is object manager, which I will come back later once I apply certain technical indicators and drawing tools. I will show you how you can manage this object manager. Third option is aggregation, which I've already told you. These are the aggregations that are available. Next is the range that you can, which is also available on the top of the bar. Chart data types, you can in this correction of 5 paisa, we only allow charting based on last traded price. Then the overlay, so in case if you're watching any chart and you want to add an overlay on top of this chart, so you can do that. So let me add an overlay of say Adani Enterprises, for example. When you add a symbol, you have the option whether you want this on a separate scale, which means the scale will be applied on the left side. If you want what type of a chart you want, whether you want a candlestick chart, and you apply this, and the overlay chart is applied here. Similarly, there is no restriction on number of overlays chart that you can apply. If you want another chart of the Adani group, for example, sorry, you go to overlay, add overlay, and another Adani group stock you want to see it. So you can apply this. on the chart, same chart. So you get to see three different charts on a single screen, and you can do a comparison as well. So you have the option to switch to a scale on the right side as a relative scale, which is a percentage scale, and same thing you can do it for left side as well, which will be a percentage scale. So it will be easier for you to identify what percentage the price has moved. So this is about overlay. There is no restriction on number of overlays that you can add on a single chart. Next option that you have is indicator. So you can click on add indicators. And here you will see the default indicators which are available based on the bid ask prices if you want to. But if you want to add volume, you can just click on volume, and the volume data will be available with the moving average of the volume. So you can go and change the moving average if you want to. And then there are different coloring options that you have for the volume analysis, volume data. In case you want to save a particular interval, like say I've changed this moving average period to 40, and I want to, every time I want to apply this volume indicator, I want 40 as my default period. So I can click here and set this as default. So even if I delete this indicator now and apply a volume indicator, it will be with the default 40 period. This is your favorite that you selected. So this way you can apply the default periods or different default parameters for any indicators that you want. Next option that you have is, let me add some indicators as well, like say Bollinger Band. And while selecting the Bollinger Band, I have the option of selecting the calculation type. So we recommend you to use all available data in most cases. And then you can also apply this chart only on specified interval, which means that this is a 1 minute chart that I have right now, but I don't want to see Bollinger Band on a 1 minute interval. I want to see that only on 15-minute interval, for example. So this indicator is not visible on a 1 minute interval. Now, if I switch to 15-minute interval, you will see the Bollinger Band indicator visible. So this way you can hide the indicators that you don't want to see in a particular interval. You can hide them, and you can manage your indicator restrictions better. So this way you can apply more indicators if you want to. Say for example, if I want to add say RSI, I type RSI, and the RSI data will be RSI values or indicator values will be visible here. If you click here, you have the settings option to go back and change the settings in case you want to. You can change the color of the chart or the lines. You can decide what type of a line you want, whether you want a solid line, dash line, dotted line, or the thickness of it. So in case you want to increase the thickness, you can do that. That you can do it for any interval, that any lines that are available. So if you do not want to see a particular data point, for example, I don't want to see the moving average or the, just a second, yeah, RSI line, and I don't want to see the moving average of the RSI line. I can hide this as well. Again, if I want to make this indicator visible only on 5-minute interval, I select here 5 minute, and this indicator will disappear from this period, this particular period. So I go back to 5-minute interval, and now you will be able to see the RSI and volume because I had kept the Bollinger Band only for 15-minute interval. Here also you have the option to hide this interval indicator in case you want to, or you do not want to see the values. you can hide the values of that indicator. On the right side, you will see the values itself. And let me change the scale to absolute scale. So you can then, you have the option of auto centering. So if you click on auto, by default, it will be auto based on the data that is available from the higher and the lower range of the chart, and it automatically adjusts the price scale. If you want to do a manual scale, you can do that. You can just drag and modify this. Automatically, this will change to manual scale. If you want to auto center it also, you can do it auto centered as well. I'll keep this by default as auto. If you want to zoom the chart, you can simply scroll your mouse and you can zoom the chart. If you, as I told you, you can scroll manually and change the price scale in case you want to. And you can do that for even the indicator intervals as well, indicators as well. Next option that we have is drawing tools. We have plenty of drawing tools here. And these drawing tools are also available on the left side of the chart. So if you click here, you will see lots of drawing tools available. In case you want to put any of these drawing tools in favorites, for example, Fibonacci price expansion, this will be visible on the left side. If you want to apply indicators as well, you can do it from here as well. So if you click here, you can click this button, add indicator, and this indicator window will open up. You can add overlays from here as well. So just simply select the symbol and overlays can be added. If you want to create alert on the chart, this is a alert which is very basic alert. Your chart has to be open in case the all alert has to be triggered. This is not kind of not a alert which is triggered at the server side. So in case you want to place an alert for price, you can simply click on the bell and you can click here, and whenever the price touches this level, the alert will be available in the alert window or on the charts. So if you click here on the alert, you can edit the settings of that indicator and you can change the price in case you want to. You can do what kind of an alert you want, whether you want a crossover alert, cross above, cross below, and whether you want this alert to be continuously giving you alerts or you want to disable it once it touched. So, or as well as you can also set a alert text as well. So next, coming back to the object manager, you can see here all the indicators that are there will be visible in the object manager. When I click here, so you can see the list of indicators or drawing tools that I've applied here are visible here. In case if I want to delete any of them, I can delete them. Next option that we have is what view you want, different types of data points that you want to see on the chart. So if you want to see previous days high low range or price range, okay, you want to see the volumes on the right side, a great time, all these things are available here for you to see here. If you want quick order entry button, and if you want to see the symbol description also, you can see that. Like if you want to see what that symbol is all about and you want to see here, you can see that as well. Next option is if you want to export the data, you can export the data to Excel, and it allows you to select the different data points and you can export this. You also have the option of, in case the data is not loaded correctly, if you want to reload the data from the server once again, so you simply click on reload history server and the data will be fetched fresh from the server. If you go to the settings, there are a lot of setting options available for you. You can change the title of the chart itself. You can use the custom tick size in case you want to use the custom tick size. You can select the time zone. By default, it takes your own general client time zone. You can also decide how you want the mouse wheel to work for if you want to use certain tasks. The window color, if you want to change the color of the screens, you can do that. If you want to change the crosshair color, you can do that. If you want a bigger width, you can do that for the crosshair. You can, if you have multiple charts and you want to synchronize the time with each other. For example, I have a 5-minute chart as well as 15-minute chart, and I want to synchronize with each other. So I can do that. So suppose I add an additional chart out here. So let me duplicate this chart. I can right click on top here and duplicate the chart, and I will make a chart, one more chart available side by side. And in this chart, I will have a 30-minute interval. And as I move my cursor, you can see that it will go and show the area where the time frame is, like 12:35 on the 8th of December. And on the right side also, it will show the same scale. The crossover grid will be visible here according to the time that you've selected. So that is called synchronization. So you can create session templates, but I think that is not so important here. In case you want to create session templates, you can do that as well. But since we already have a continuous session, so I don't think it is so important. But this particular session templates can be used in the case of MCX. You only want to see the data of the evening session. So you can create a session template and apply for a particular chart or for an exchange or a group of symbols. There is a separate session template video is available on our YouTube channel for you to see it. Next is the date type of chart, date style. You can select the type of chart. You can change the color in case you want to. Time scale, the font sizes, whether you want a day separator, week separator, month separator. All these options are available with the option to change the colors and the width of the dotted lines. Price scale. So we have, as I told you already, on the right side of the y-axis, you saw absolute, relative, and logarithm scale that you want to change to. You want to zoom, how you want this to be, auto scale or manual scale you want to. Fit orders and positions. So you can also see the orders and positions that have traded on the chart as well. Maybe I'll show it by doing some trades later on. So that also will be visible on the price, and the price scale can be fitted again based on that, so that you do not, nothing is hidden on the trades that you've done in the past. So you can also do this for fit VWAP indicator. So we have a VWAP indicator that you can apply, and the scale will automatically adjust based on the VWAP values. Next is the visual trading functionalities that you can configure. So in case you want to configure, want to see the positions, how you want the color of the different types of labels that you want to see, you can configure here. You want to see all the order types, how you want to, on the order side, what all you want in this control panel. You can change the colors of the buy sell colors, all that you can change it. If you want to see the trades that are executed on the chart to be visible, you can enable this with the marker. There are two options. You can only show the marker or marker plus prices. So you can show view that as well. In case you want to, how you want to adjust, you want to show the stop loss take profit option, you can show that as well here, or disable it or enable it. Order entry. So while placing the order, you can also configure the quantity buttons out here. So let's assume that I want 1, next quantity that I want is 5, then I want is maybe 36 if I'm trading in bank nifty, and the 36 quantity is visible here. When I click here, it will, you can easily select the quantity while placing the order. You can also do certain additional things wherein you can multiply this quantity 1 into 5. So you can do that as well, and you will be able to see. So when I click here, you will be able to do additional functionalities. There is a video on how to configure this in case you want to configure the order quantities as well. Here you want to see show, bid, ask. Suppose I have these quick buttons out here, and if I want to show them or not, I can disable or enable them depending on what type of a trading that I do. There are different options available for quick button action for trading. Then next, information window that you see on top. If you want to disable any of these functionalities, you can do that, and it will not be visible out here. In case you want to see window as like this, simply drag the window and you will be able to see the information in a different form. In the settings, we also have hotkeys. So you can click on the settings and you can see there are hotkeys are available for different actions. So if you want to switch a chart to, this is a 5-minute chart and I want to switch to 30-minute chart, I have to simply click on Control 5 and the chart will change to 30-minute chart. So this way you can configure quick buttons or hotkeys for different types of intervals. There are, if you want to zoom in, if you want to change the zoom in, zoom out functionality, you can do that. You can use mouse trading with different functionalities. So all there are ready buttons are already available, and also there are options given for you to configure your own keys. So you can do that. Like suppose you want to draw Gann line, you can select a key of your choice and you can have a Gann line plotted with the keyboard itself. As I told you already that you can also place the order from the chart. I think I have already explained how to place the orders in the past. Uh, but if you want to see some of the trades, let me place one order and let me do a market sell trade. So you can see now that wherever I've traded, you can see an arrow here. Okay, that is because I have enabled the label. So if you go to the settings, trades, if I disable, this arrow will go. So I can decide whether I want only the marker, I want also with the price. Now I will show you how exactly you can create multiple charts and bind them together. So I have already created 2 charts side by side, and I can just click here and create a bind. So how I did that, I just clicked on this button here, create bind, and drag my cursor on two different charts, and I created a bind. Now this becomes a single window with two charts. I can save this as a template, so I can give a name, my charts. I can give a short name, and I can save this as a template. Now if I want to open this next time, I can just click here, and in the template section you will see my charts. So this way you can watch two charts with two different time frames. If you want to add more charts to the same panel, you can unbind this and you can reduce the size of it. And if you want to add two more charts, you can just duplicate these charts with the same indicators if at all if you want to. Now I have four charts and I can again create a bind. I drag the cursor on all the four charts and I have a bind with four charts. I can have different intervals here. So suppose I want 5 minute here for 1 month, 30 minute, 1 hour for last 3 months, and a daily chart for 1 year. I can have this. I can symbol link them again. If I want to link them with each other, I can do that. Let me click here. Any of these panels here, I make this yellow, and I will make this also yellow. And whenever I change the color of this linking, the chart will change to that symbol. Now, if I want to rename the bind, I can do that. I can just make it my chart panel, and the name of the panel is changed to my chart panel, but you still need to save them. And if you want, since it's already saved by and you want to replace it, you can simply go to replace existing and select my charts and save this. So now when I close this and open again, you will see the same chart with the bind with the four chart visible. Now, if you have a multi-monitor, you can just simply drag and drop it to any of the monitors that you want. And once you close the application, it will remember the last saved location. So you don't have to again open it and drag and keep it in different monitors. So if you have multiple monitors while trading, you can do that as well. If there are any questions, I would like to see that. I don't see any questions, so I think I've covered most of the chart related functionalities here. So thank you for joining this live webinar, and we will be having another webinar on Monday at 5:15. You can join this live session again.